Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Alina and I'm a professional psychologist, hypnotherapist and a coach. First thing first, we need to understand what dark feminine is, because if we don't understand the description of it, how we will understand what we actually need to do, right? So you maybe saw dark feminine as a woman who's some kind of siren, femme fatale. She's really dangerous and sexy and at the same time really tempting, and she's really attractive in this dangerous beauty. But what I want to tell you first is that some of you don't actually need that. Don't actually need to live in this energy of like dark feminine all the time. And more than that, it doesn't fit everyone. It's just a part of you, and we'll talk about this later. So if you're stuck in it for a really long time, it can be dangerous for you and your psyche. And I'll explain it too. As I said, dark feminine is actually an archetype. So when we talk about Lilith, what it is exactly? First, by Carl Jung, I can tell you that it's a shadow part of your personality, because we have many parts by Carl Jung, like persona, like our ego, like subconsciousness, collective subconsciousness, and so on. So shadow is also one part of us that we have within. What it is exactly, I'll give you the description here, and will tell you what I mean by this, because before, when I worked with my Russian audience, I gave to people really a lot of projects to this topic. And I can tell you that when we go into this, when we dive into this really deep, we see the parts of us which we don't want to accept. So that's why we can be triggered by someone's behavior, someone's way of life, because we don't let ourselves to do this, and that's why we get triggered. So when we go deeper in our shadow, we understand it's us, which we try to suppress. So what happens next? When we understand our shadow, and it's really painful process actually, I can tell you that's for sure, but if you have the intention to understand yourself better, it will give you a lot of benefits. We become more complete as a personality, and that's why such kind of human or a woman has really attractive energy. That's why dark feminine is something that women want to have, because it's really attractive to be in the field, to talk to this person, to be I don't know, to watch video or something else, or even to watch a movie. For example, Basic Instinct, where Sharon Stone embraced dark feminine, this Lilith archetype. She was really attractive, she was really seductive and dangerous at the same time, because again, she accepted her shadow, because not many people can accept their dark side. As I said, not everyone is ready to go into this topic, to even see shadow part. It's easier for them on conscious level and subconscious level to just being triggered. And I'm not saying I'm also not this person, like I'm the same like you, okay? But sometimes we need to ask ourselves the questions like, why it triggers me, what it is exactly, what is it about? Because it's always about you, no one else. So because she accepted her dark side, she's so attractive. the story of this archetype as well, it will help you to embrace it, to understand it, and to activate in yourself right now even more. So first story will be about Lilith herself, like who she was and why she became who she became. Adam had his first wife, Lilith, and she wasn't made from himself, but she was equal to him. And that's the difference. That's a huge difference, because we remember Eve as someone who was really submissive, and patriarchy shows that we have to be this kind of woman, and I can tell you that it's changing already. For sure. I'll talk about Eve and Lilith in a different video, I guess. So Lilith was his first wife, and she was equal. It's really important. Once she had a fight with him, and she didn't like something. So Adam, he didn't decide to discuss it with her, but he went to God, told him like, she's not submissive and so on, so do something about it. Okay. So God sent angels to Lilith, and the angels told her like, girl, do something about it, don't fight and so on, so make peace with this man. So our girl Lilith said no, go to hell. But actually she went to hell anyway. So we'll see that Lilith archetype is about disagreement, to be submissive to a man and to anyone, and to actually, the most important thing, to choose herself, to choose what she wants. And that's really powerful, because in our culture, in our collective subconsciousness, we still have a story about Eve, who's like really nice, really cute, really like sweet, doesn't say much, like follow the man and so on. And it's a different story. That's why we don't see it in the Bible, for example, because it's not a system wants by now. What happened next? She was sent to hell. That's it. Like, that's why we have a fear to say something, you know, because we probably feel as women on a deeper subconscious level that something can happen with us. But she was sent to hell and became a demon. That story is also about our shadow, that our shadow can also be like this, can be a rebel, that we can disagree, and it's also a part of any women. Anyway, I think some of you will find something else in the story, so let me know in the comments, please. Another story I want to tell you is about Medusa. There was a really beautiful woman, Medusa. She was so beautiful that one of the gods fell in love with her. But she also didn't like him. She said no. She was really pushing him away all the time. But what the god did, because he had the power, she went to temple to pray, to get the help because of all this situation. And the god went there and he raped her. What happened next? Came to her temple, and she was really angry about what happened there, and she blamed Medusa. She blamed her, and she made her who we know as Medusa, like a woman with snakes instead of hair, and someone who could turn someone into a stone only by looking at someone. Another story. So what the conclusion we can make from this story? It's also about the nature of woman who chooses herself. It's about woman who accepts herself in everything she wants. Like, she doesn't want to be a good girl, a people pleaser. She decides what she wants. And she got punished for this. Again, this story is in our collective subconsciousness, and that's why we are scared of dark feminine energy, of Lilith archetype. Okay, you understand? You got my point, I hope. But anyway, I think again you can find something for yourself in this story. So again, let me know in the comments. So for now, we discussed what it is exactly, the story beneath this archetype, beneath dark feminine energy, where it comes from. The next thing is I want to talk about is, do you actually need it? So you understood, right? So that it's an archetype, and a woman has actually many archetypes, like a girl, a mistress, a huntress, and so on. So Lilith archetype is one of the many archetypes. So when you see that someone tells you that you can be dark feminine all the time, it's really strange, because it can be dangerous. Like, you embrace Lilith archetype all the time. So one part of it, of course, it's really attractive. It's about being really attractive, really like dangerous in some way, really sexy, and so on. So you become like a magnet to many different things, and you always again choose yourself, your top priority. If you have a problem that you're a people pleaser, you have really weak boundaries, it's hard for you to say no. This archetype is also about really strong sexual energy. So if you feel that you're in lack of these things, so you really need to activate this energy within you. And in the end of the video, I'll give you some tasks for it. So stay till the end. What I mentioned before is a good side of Lilith archetype, and there's a bad side of it. It can be dangerous, like literally dangerous, to be in this archetype all the time. So if you continue being only, like you forget about all the other archetypes. By the way, I want to record a video about this, like feminine archetypes, where I'll talk about this more. So let me know if you want this video also in comment section, please. And some of you, I'm sure, has different types of beauty. So some types of beauty, they don't match with this dark feminine energy. For example, like imagine her as dark feminine woman. It's strange, right? Yeah, maybe she could be like in some role, but I don't know like all the time. Of course, it's important to accept, to embrace again this archetype within yourself, but it doesn't mean that you have to be like dark feminine woman, like femme fatale all the time. Okay, I hope you got this point. It's really important. We need this archetype within ourselves, but we don't have to embrace it in our like physical appearance, like program ourselves to this all the time, because we have so many shades, we have so many parts of ourselves as women. I think it can be even boring, because maybe your main archetype is Empress, and you have to embrace this archetype the most. I'll talk about this more maybe in one of the next videos, if you let me know again in the comments that you need this video. So when you literally discover this dark side of you, you can fall into this too deep, like way too deep, and you don't actually need that. And the other case, it cannot fit you. It cannot fit your type, like who you are, your beauty type as well. So you have to discover yourself, like does it even fit you? Or maybe it can be a part of you that you can play sometime, that's it. But if you feel your inner impulse right now that it attracts you, you need it. That's definitely what you should do. And what you should do exactly, let's talk about this. I want to give you some specific tasks that will help you to integrate this energy within you. When we talk about something that happens within us, the outer world becomes really like as logical result in the way we dress and so on. So what you should do right now, you can do this. Close your eyes and make a couple of breathing cycles, like breathe in, breathe out, relax, and imagine your Lilith archetype, like who this woman is, how she looks like, what her energy is. And imagine yourself like who you are right now, and ask her an advice she can give to you how to activate her energy within you. Like you can touch her hands and feel that her energy comes to you and you become her presence as well. So be in this process. And another exercise can be more difficult, but it's important. You have to be really self-aware. Like for example, you watch some stories in Instagram or somewhere else, or like just living your life, and notice when you get triggered. Like for example, I was really triggered by women who didn't work, who were wives, and who were supported by their men, their husbands. I was really triggered. Why? Because I want to be the same, like I want to live the same way. And when I discovered this, when I truly accepted that it's a part of me, that I don't want to be like boss babe or like whatever, I want to be supported by men. That's it. I want to get money from men. When I accepted it, whole thing has changed for me. Like I'm not triggered anymore. I'm like, wow, it's so nice, and so on. So find these parts about yourself where you feel jealous about something, about someone, where you suppress your anger. It's really important energy as well. So find it, discover it, write it down, and write down also what is it for you truly, what you don't let yourself to have. Like think about it, even think about it. It will give you a lot of insights, I can tell you for sure. And I'm sure that later I will have some project for women, so you can work with me as well if you're interested in this topic too. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think about all this thing I talked about today, what you got for yourself after watching this video, what you understood. Write this down in the comment section. I would really appreciate it, and I'm really interested about what you think, what you felt, and how this video may change too. Thank you, and bye.